Good morning, and thank you for the invitation to speak. It's a privilege here to be able to talk a little bit about what I believe, and I liked what Alan said in his first slide. He talked about, at least in the UK, as B-Sky-B being the heart of your video services and your entertainment. And I'd like to think the same thing for Verizon in the United States. So just a brief overview of Verizon. We've got two primary units, a third unit, which is our business unit, I won't talk about today. On the wireline side, our facilities-based distributor, which provides the triple play, your video services, your broadband services, and of course, telephony. Our unit, we've got about $40 billion in US dollars, approximately 25 million voice subscribers, 8 million growing to 9 million broadband subscribers, and in our video, our IPTV and fiber to the home based video product, we have 4 million customers, which in the United States ranks us approximately number 7 against all video distributors. We expect to move up to the top 5 here in 2012. You'll see that we cover 6 of the 10 largest markets in the United States, and in addition to several other meaningful markets, all of which has given us a viable business that we've been able to create here over the last 5 to 6 years since we've launched video in 2005. On the wireless side, we are the largest wireless provider in the United States in the partnership with Vodafone. Our revenue over $60 billion. Our customers, our retail customers are 90 million. Our overall customers are 100 million customers strong. And our smartphone penetration is nearly 40% through the third quarter. We were the first to launch a meaningful LTE 4G operating system in the United States, which we believe will accelerate the adoption of not only wireless broadband, but several of the video services that we'll talk about today, including over-the-top and IPTV. We are in, you can see, 165 markets and a pretty good coverage in the United States. We are the leading network in the United States with respect to LTE, and we are also the leading provider in the United States with respect to fiber to the home and video services. So, IPTV, that's what I'm going to talk about here for the next 10 minutes or so. I think there's 3 components, as I've heard the previous panelists and look at our own landscape in the United States. And I'd say the first I'd talk about, and again, referring to what Alan said, I'd call it if you look here, that's my heart. And I think IPTV will have to be the heart of the sort of next generation of multi-platform consumption. Does it need to be the heart? No, it doesn't need to be the heart. It's a battle. And IPTV simply means, it means facilities-based distributors like B-Sky-B, like Verizon, like cable operators in the United States, anyone throughout the world who has deployed infrastructure. That facilities-based distribution should be and must be the heart of the evolution of multi-platform consumption. If it's not the heart, then we've lost a meaningful business opportunity. Now, that meaningful business opportunity is jeopardized by the battle for, I'll call it the battle for intelligence. So we've got a heart, we've got a mind, there will be a third component, but with respect to the battle of intelligence, it goes something like this. We all talk about, in our industry, smartphones, smart devices, smart TVs, but rarely do we talk about smart networks. A facilities-based provider is necessarily a smart network, and it has the opportunity to be a smarter network, but we have to fight every day because those devices, they're smart too. Those phones are smart, those Xboxes are smart, the TVs are smart, so we need to make sure that we've established ourselves not only as the heart for multi-platform consumption, but also we need to make sure that we have our fair share and we're regarded as an intelligent part of that ecosystem. The antonym, of course, to smart is dumb, and everyone in this room, I think, has heard the metaphor of the dumb pipe. We must battle against the dumb pipe. The third component, first heart, second mind, the third component here is got to be a belief set. You have to believe, as a facilities-based distributor, you have to believe that you can wage a meaningful battle for intelligence, the smart devices, the smartphones, the smart TVs, therefore being the smart network, being the heart of the multi-platform consumption. You have to establish a belief set, and that's what I'm going to talk about here, is what our belief set, or my belief set anyway, is with respect to IPTV and some of the advanced video services. So you'll see you've got demand, time shifting, place shifting, device shifting, it's all there. You've got distribution, higher broadband speeds, cloud storage, content security, picture quality, and of course we have the devices. At the heart of it all, IPTV. The key, and I agree with Alan as well, is that it's going to be driven by sort of your traditional consumption, your big brands. And if you look at here in the United States, content availability for the content that most customers consume the most often is greatest in linear video. That's really your legacy consumption model. There is much less of the, call it, high affinity content when you get to applications in nascent distribution platforms, and then as you go up the chain, you'll see that the amount of content availability actually increases. What IPTV does is it acts as the heart, brings everything together, and takes the deployed innovation, which is what we've done as facilities-based providers, the significant investments that we've made in making sure that we've not only established customer relationships, customer service, but also put that smart pipe into the customer's homes. That deployed innovation is now meeting up with consumer aspiration. Authenticated services, OTT, interactive, multi-platform now all gets funneled by an IPTV connection, and then you have ubiquitous consumption of content across all devices, reaching customers at every point of access and driving engagement, which then can spur innovation and create new business models. Brief overview of authentication. Authentication, although it is innovative in its sort of core, it's really defensive as a strategy. So is authentication a growth opportunity? Maybe. But for certain, authentication is an opportunity for facilities-based distributors to reinforce the value of their underlying video subscription. Today in the United States, we really have a dichotomy of authenticated offerings, primarily in-home applications, and then applications that are out of the home. IPTV, again, at the heart, and can maintain its battle and wage the battle against intelligence, or for intelligence, I should say, can then bring those in-home and out-of-home experiences so that they are actually one. In the over-the-top, which I believe is really an offensive opportunity, if authentication represents a defensive strategy, over-the-top represents an offensive strategy, an opportunity for significant market growth. And you'll see that with widely available broadband, we know that over 75% of the households in the United States, actually 75% of the broadband connections in the United States, I should say, are capable of receiving a high-quality standard definition signal. And that will improve over time. There's a large installed base of networked devices, okay? Networked devices, intentional use there. Most people call them smart devices. We're the smart network, and we want the devices to be networked. And you'll see over 300 million by 2014. And a broad range of content. You need to have the content, and the broad range of content is now starting to expand, so we can meet a customer's expectation that all the compelling content that they watch in the most traditional ways, whether it's live sporting events, movies, their favorite television shows, can then be consumed in an over-the-top way, or an alternative way, or an authenticated way, or in the living room, all driven by IPTV. And then, of course, the general consensus here is that over-the-top is a compelling growth market, and we believe that it moves from a $6 billion market in 2011 to a $20 billion, $19 billion in 2015. If you take a look at the over-the-top competition, the over-the-top competition is also fragmented. There's so much fragmentation here, so well, at some point you have to identify a common denominator. Going back, and that's my belief set, going back to the heart, if IPTV then becomes the heart, then these other different types of disparate business models, whether it's ad-supported subscription, electronic sell-through, or rental, can all be offered under the same brand name and the same technology. And then you worry less about who your competition is, and you worry more about being able to partner effectively with those former competitors who now become partners, content aggregators, content creators. So, in sum, believe that the key factors to success here are consumer behavior, and we've all seen that there is an increase in consumption in content across all platforms. Device proliferation. There is a significant increase in the availability of devices whereby consumers can consume their content. The platforms are better. The over-the-top opportunities are vast, and the content availability is now increasing to a point where the consumer expectation is being met and the opportunity is great. So we believe there's significant opportunity in new markets. By being an IPTV and facilities-based distributor, we believe we can participate by partnering with our once or potential competitors to expand a market which hasn't seen meaningful expansion in several years. Thank you.